Well, I unleashed upon myself a Pandora box of unluckiness. Yeah, I disappeared for a whole month. I'm sorry, guys. I got sick, I got an allergic reaction, and I got sick again, and I got another allergic reaction, which is fascinating. Also, I have finished Resident Evil Requiem about 8 times. I have unlocked every singular achievement, I have done every singular difficulty, I have done every singular task so I can unlock everything infinite. I know, I have finished it 8 times in a matter of 1 month. Literally, I was very obsessed when the game came out, and yeah, that's what happened through this whole month, which is surprising. I am a teacher, a working teacher, and I am a responsible adult. I'm not sure how did I have the time to finish it 8 times, but I did. And I am aiming to get the platinum very soon. So, for today's topic, I am talking about the way I'm talking. I know, weird. What the hell is that topic? I'm genuinely out of topic, or to be exact, I'm way too exhausted after having a ramblance of 1 month of unluckiness. I decided to talk about something that I sometimes do genuinely struggle with, but sometimes I'm very, very, very good at, which is talking. As a person who's capable of talking in 2 languages, and please put 3 lines under talking in both languages, because I am not bilingual and I am not fluent in either languages, especially when it comes to socializing. Whenever I try to socialize, I genuinely just can't do it. I am the most awkward individual, especially when I decide to talk with somebody. Like, for example, today I went to the gym and I decided to be an extrovert. And actually, I'm quite an extroverted person, and my MBTI is ENFP, so I have an E in my personality, which makes me an extrovert. I decided to talk with an individual. And I fumbled that conversation so badly. Well, what do you usually do when you have an interaction with a new person? You usually introduce yourself and decide to ask about their name. I just introduced myself without asking about her name, and moved on. I genuinely cannot process the whole interaction. The woman left, and she just stared at my soul, and she probably thought I was the weirdest individual ever to exist, but like, who cares? I genuinely don't have a normal social interaction with any of the people that I know, or any of my friends. Even my siblings, my parents, anyone. But like, you can say my siblings and my parents got used to me, but my friends discovers new ways that I can be weirder at interacting with them. I genuinely don't have any concept of what's appropriate at some situation and what's not appropriate in some situation. So this is where I tell you about my interaction with my friend Jazz. It is actually genuinely one of the weirdest interactions that could ever exist, especially till this day we still talk about it. So after a year of quarantine and having everything online, I came to university in my 2nd year and I decided to have a lot of friends, which I failed miserably. I just know a lot of people now and only have great friends, which is perfect. And I decided to be very social and interact with everyone. I did interact with everyone. The first interaction with Jazz was the funniest ever to exist. When I first looked at Jazz, I knew who she is, which was weird because she didn't. I genuinely looked at her, heard her talking, and I was like, "You're Jazz?" And she was like, "Yes." Do you know our colleague Elise? She stares at me at like for a good 5 seconds and she goes, yeah. He sounds like a broken radio. That's a whole conversation that went between me and Jazz. And the thing is, me and Jazz's friendship took a while till we become friends because I believe that interaction left like a sour taste in her mouth, or wasn't the best first impression to ever give a person. Another fact you might need to know about me: I do give excellent speeches. Yes, I genuinely have given 14 speeches that were excellent and always were rewarded with applause. I am excellent at speaking, I am excellent at presenting, especially in English. My mother tongue, forget it. I cannot talk in it whatsoever. Even normal interaction, if I want a mother tongue, I can be poetic in my mother tongue, and I know how to write some poetry in my mother language. But The thing is, I genuinely, when I think of vocabulary that can get inside of my head, I can only think of English. I have been made fun of religiously, okay, by my family because I only speak in English. And they think that I genuinely do that because I don't want to speak in my mother language, which is, excuse me, I wish I can have a normal sentence accumulate this fast in my mother language. I cannot tell you how beautiful. So, the moral of the story, I am capable of my incapabilities. I am excellent at giving speeches, especially in English and not my mother language. But I am also very poetic in my mother language, and I choose my words very carefully, though they might be weak. And I also have very fun conversations with myself in the streets, and that's why people stare at me because they genuinely get confused at who am I talking with, and it's usually I'm talking to myself in the streets. I'm not crazy. Also, I found this Stardew Valley channel that sounds a lot like me. Everyone that hears me like watching her, everyone goes like, "Are you speaking?" And I'm not. I'm not speaking. I'm just like enjoying my time with a girl who's playing Stardew Valley who is genuinely fun to watch. And yeah. I Does anyone struggle as much as I do? Or is it just a dawn thingy? Okay, and that's all. For today's question is what are your weird struggles? And yeah, and that's all for today's video. I hope I can upload weekly after this. And toodles, everyone. Have a lovely day.